The DJI Mavic saved Ukraine. This is the game-changing weapon of Ukraine. Ukraine would have fallen if it wasn't for this thing.
Hoe lang zijn we hier in West-Europa nog veilig? Komt er ook een drone-oorlog naar ons toe? Welkom op het slagveld van morgen. Dit is Tegenlicht.
Лякаючим, так. Я дуже, перший час навіть снилися дрони. Просинався від того, що дрон в мене вроді не прилітав, але в мене снилося, що в мене дрон прилітає просто. Перші дні то це було страшно.
De oorlog in Oekraïne heeft de wereldwijde defensieindustrie ruw wakker geschud. Eén klein en spotgoedkoop wapen dat overal verkrijgbaar is, heeft de oorlogsvoering dodelijker dan ooit gemaakt. Met 3 kliks kun je op social media apps als Telegram video na video zien hoe de ene na de andere soldaat gedood wordt door drones. Drones die steeds vaker worden aangestuurd door AI.
А от на самому вже, коли ти воюєш, ти наверх сильно дивитись не будеш, тому що кругом, от йде стрілковий бій, кулі свистять, і через те, дрони просто це, ти не можеш дивитись і за тим слідкувати повністю. Дуже багато дронів, настільки багато, що капець їх багато. Не втікти від них, це неможливо, не втікти, не сховатись, особо ти нічого. Єдина надія, що він десь промаже в тебе, або не побачить. До мене прилетіла граната з дрона. Далі в пару хвилин я слабо пам'ятаю, великий експлозіон, взрив був. І пару хвилин пам'ятаю. Далі, коли прийшов до тями, я зрозумів, що рука в мене вже зламана в декількох місцях, дуже кровотеча була велика. Тільки ранило б одного, далі якось за півгодини просто розібрали нашу позицію дронами. Перший був поранений у нас кулеметник, там 200. В основному дронами там тільки один зловив пулю, а так все дрони. Далі хлопці почали по одному, так сказати, з 11 людей залишилось нас 4. 4 трьохсотих. Знову була стрілкотня, тобто ми йшли разом з росіянами, виходить, ми йшли і вони якраз за нами по п'ятах. Виходили ми також важко, тому що ще 2 дрона як мінімум. Далі лікарня. Приїхали, я вже не пам'ятаю, яке село, бо дуже багато крові не було, загубив. І поставили капельницю, після того, я погано пам'ятаю, вже в лікарні опинився.
There's no real running from it, and there's no real hiding from it. It's either going to kill you or it's going to miss. Tall trees, areas where there's lots of overhead wires, buildings, ideally buildings with nice, robust. One of the great things the Soviets did was they made everything have a concrete ceiling, and that's a nice, 30 centimetre thick concrete ceiling is what you want above you, ideally,
Does it feel absurd to be in a peacetime city like Amsterdam?
It's odd, a little bit. I mean, Kyiv gets hit fairly often, but it still can be bizarre how normal life is. Even Mykolaiv, it's only 80 kilometers from Kherson, but you can be there and some days there won't be a single air raid, you won't hear an explosion. People are in the coffee shops, people are in the bars, life continues as normal. And then you go back to Kherson and on a quiet day there's 100 explosions. When Putin did the main invasion, when the big war started, I knew that like my time had come. I'm not married, I don't have any children. I'd just come out of 2 years of COVID lockdown, and with the prospects of another lockdown looming, it was like, war or another lockdown? Well, the chances of me not surviving either seem about 50-50 at this point, so I chose war. I mean, it seemed a very black and white situation to me, morally, you know. We have to say we're never going to be able to hear someone trimming the grass in the same way again. The tendons in the back of my knees is twitching a little bit. Part of me wants to run.
Do they usually get this close?
No, if it was that close, that's like an easy shot. It'd normally be 50, 60 meters, and that's when it's dropping a bomb on you. If it's observing you, it'll be a couple of 100 meters up.
Рэп включайте, она прямо в завод влетела.
So, what you've got here by the looks of things is what looks to be a very well-made 10-inch FPV. An FPV is a first-person view drone. These can carry a serious payload of up to 6 kilograms.
Where would you put the explosives?
Cable tied to the bottom. The Ukrainian army runs off duct tape and cable ties. But yeah, simply cable tied to the bottom and then there'd be either the fuse assembly or nose cone or some wires if we're using electronic detonation coming out, and when it hits something and the wires touch, boom. It all came from a hobby called drone racing. There's two of these relatively small but very, very fast drones that just see through a kind of little tunnel vision camera, and you're racing them round a course. About a year or so into the war, people realised that these things not only could go very fast, but could also carry quite some weight. And they started getting used as a kind of improvised form of guided munition. I've had a FPV come after me a couple of times, and it's terrifying. Mortars don't even make my heart rate go up. These bastard things can follow you round a corner, you know? They can follow you round one corner and round another, pull a circle and come at you from the other way. The only thing that's going to save you is trees and wires. So, this is a DJI Mavic Enterprise or Pro, and this is the principal and best drone we use for relatively short-range reconnaissance. With this, you can see like an eagle from anywhere, and at night with a thermal camera, it doesn't matter if you're hiding under the foliage. We can see you anyway. Most of the time, the FPV pilot is working in conjunction with the Mavic pilot. The Mavic pilot will find the target, the FPV will launch, and working together, they will guide the FPV into the target. It's literally the most cost-effective way of destroying the enemy long distance.
we don't want a Javelin. We'd rather take the FPVs, because one Javelin I can get 250 to 500 FPVs. And at 250, there'll be the big ones with a thermal camera that can, each one can carry a tank-destroying munition that we can make ourselves in a shed, you know? Now, men in sheds are capable of making just as dangerous things as any defence company at the end of the day.
Ze zijn onmisbaar geworden aan het front, de FPV-gevechtsdrones. Gebouwd in schuurtjes, kelders en huiskamers in heel Oekraïne. En zelfs in Nederland.
О, я ненавиджу це робити, тому що це різна довжина цих болтів.
Hier in workshops georganiseerd door hulporganisatie Drone-Aid leren revaliderende veteranen drones te bouwen. Geholpen door vrijwilligers.
Тож ми тут, знаєш, це ж тут не тільки дрони збирати. Дрони – це як причина прийти і зібратися. You can buy a drone in 3 clicks on AliExpress. So, what we are doing here is just basic what you can do at home with your son or with your daughter. So it's just basic stuff, and everyone has access to drones, and you can do it. It's like crafting. If you like IKEA, like making drones is like making IKEA.
Так. Переверни його. Так, маєш рацію.
Like everyone is building drone in Ukraine, so in the kitchen, just sitting and making a drone. And here in the Netherlands we have more capabilities. At least we don't have missiles above our head. We can fundraise money and in euros from Dutch internationals. So there are more resources here, and there is safety. So why, if all our friends are making drones in Ukraine, why shouldn't we do it here? So it's the most direct way to help Ukraine, and at the same time. It's very important for the Netherlands and for Dutch to understand that you cannot just ignore the war, because it's technological advances. If you as a country are behind, then you are behind.
Iedere drone die ze hier bouwen wordt voor verzending grondig getest. Vrijwilligers rijden regelmatig met een lading drones via Polen de grens over naar het front in Oekraïne.
Хлопці, привітайтесь, Joey.
Привет, добрий день.
Waar legerbrigades zoals die van Joe altijd behoefte hebben aan meer drones.
Oké, Max, іди сюди.
Steeds meer drones.
Here we are building FPV drones, as you can see.
It's stuff like this that amounts to like 25% of what we actually need at the front, you know. But it's little workshops like this that are actually putting the weapons in the hands of the guys on the zero line. So yeah, it's...
What help do you need? How can we help you?
Well, I mean, our FPV teams always need some more FPVs.
We can send your brigade FPVs if.
Yeah, we can do the paperwork.
Yeah,
that's not a problem.
Paperwork, official request from the brigade, and with a stamp and a signature, and then we send.
Calm down.
Yes. Можемо одразу всі. Так, звук хороший.
I have got some contacts with people who've got software that's like, you know, drone follows last path of signal. Are you already incorporating that? Because there seems to be quite a few of these programs around. It's easy to say AI, but what does it actually work off, and how good is it? Like captured Russian ones, their AI seems to be working off contrast.
Yeah.
So tank in field works.
Yeah. Our autonomous navigation, we cooperate with Watchbird AI, and we sent approximately 50 drones with autonomous navigation now, and we got some feedback from different brigades. Yeah, we are working constantly on improving it.
It's debatable whether they're actually useful, you know?
Jammers block connection between drone and the pilot. And then this tool basically can operate without the pilot. and can navigate to the target.
This is more advanced than just it will follow where the pilot left the controls at the last moment of signal. It's more advanced than that kind of tech.
Yeah, the pilot or a neural network can fix the target on
okay.
something. And
That's
then,
a big difference.
The algorithm can navigate autonomously, can operate the drone to the target, and it can actually follow it.
Cool.
So last mile, they operate themselves.
Met de komst van de drones op het slagveld kwamen ook de jammers, oftewel de stoorzenders. En als reactie op de stoorzenders kwam de autonomie, in de vorm van allerlei AI-programma's, waarmee de gevechtsdrone het laatste deel van zijn aanval zelfstandig op het doelwit afvliegt. Ongehinderd door stoorzenders, hoe autonomer, hoe effectiever. Autonomie is het nieuwe buzzwoord in de grijze zone tussen commercie en defensie. Als dat ergens duidelijk wordt, is het hier op Exponential Europe, de beurs voor autonome systemen.
Fascinating. It's all drones. All aerial drones.
Elke Schwartz doet hier onderzoek. Ze is wetenschapper en betrokken bij meerdere denktanks op het gebied van de beheersing van oorlogsdrones en militaire AI.
I mean, I see it through the eyes of defense and security. For me, everything looks weaponizable. Many of the drones that were sent to Ukraine were jammed, and so the desire, of course, is to kind of say, well, on this last stretch, why don't we have the drone or the payload find its way on its own by, recognizing a certain image and just going without human intervention? But then you're well on the road, slippery slope to autonomous weapon systems. So it's born kind of out of a necessity, but this is really also a future-oriented question. Do we want these kinds of systems?
What is the kill chain, and can you take us through it step by step?
Generally, there's a couple of steps. So there's find, fix, track, engage, and then assess. Finding a target is that, right? So identifying what is a good target, what is not a good target. Fixing a target means you kind of just hone in on it. Tracking means you can follow the target around, ultimately. Engage means engage the target. And then assess is where the outcome is assessed.
And engage basically means to kill.
Yeah. Euphemism, yeah.
Yeah.
Use kinetic force is the other one.
To use kinetic force
Yes.
to engage, and it basically means to blow up.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of euphemisms in this
Very
business.
much so, and which suggests that there is a natural animosity that we have to normalizing the killing of other humans, right? And so language is a sort of a veneer or a stand-in for that.
How far have we already automated the steps in the kill chain?
Technically speaking, you can do all of these steps with algorithmic type of systems.
That already exist?
In principle, they do, yes, yeah. So, the sequence might be interspersed with human judgment in between, but you could also automate that increasingly. And then we're ending up with an autonomous weapon system, of course. So swarm technology basically gives you mass. So it can be smaller systems that are equipped with a payload, and they work kind of in tandem. So you can have a loiter munition swarm, for example, that descends upon a specific target. Quite a terrifying idea.
So it's not one drone hunting you, but...
Hundreds. It's very dystopian. Now, it's one thing to say, well, these are remotely piloted. It's another thing to say they're fully autonomous. But to what degree a drone swarm of 100 drones that are all equipped with a payload set loose in an urban environment, to what degree that can actually be controlled is a different question.
Het zijn nu nog vaak onderzoeksgroepen aan universiteiten die experimenteren met zelfstandige dronezwermen. En bedrijven misschien die er grote lichtshows mee opvoeren. Maar met de ogen van onderzoeker Elke Zwarts kun je naar al die dingen niet meer normaal kijken.
Everywhere, every fair I go, there's one of these. Without fail, and it's always kind of walking around as a kind of like a clown attraction. But then when I talk about how easy it would be to mount a machine gun and some systems do that onto it, and it just starts looking a lot darker. Yeah, the hat is fooling nobody. and the googly eyes. Drones are absolutely everywhere, and the way they are able to inflict violence is faster, cheaper, and more ubiquitous. That's on the horizon for any future conflict. Warfare is a terrible business.
Why do you think killer robots scare people so much?
Well, I mean, Terminator 2 was a very good film back in the day, you know. I think, you know, I guess people always imagine if they're up against a human that there's always an element of mercy and compassion that might come in there, you know, that the bad guy might have a moment of humanity and decide to spare you or rescue you or whatever.
Pleased to meet you. Nice
Great to meet you.
How are you?
Good. Did you see the drone, the aqua drone already?
Was that? I saw the boat going past and thought, is that it?
But as for why people are so scared, I think it's just like people always imagine with another human that they'll change their mind at the last minute and not just execute them, you know? With a robot, you're never going to get that.
And are people right to think that, you think?
I would, well, I've definitely seen mercy in this war. I decided to spur a guy one day. He was drunk in a canoe, and I just didn't feel like dropping a bomb on him, you know? So I went and dropped it on his mates in the bunker about a mile away instead. And that day I decided to be Caesar and let him live. I think some of my friends killed him about a week later. He was just an alcoholic who kept sneaking off to get drunk in a boat, you know, and they weren't feeling as merciful as me. He was a soldier in uniform with a gun on the battlefield. One less person to worry about. Again, you know, if Ukraine's literally fighting for its existence against a numerically and equipment superior force, there isn't really much time for mercy.
Яка ти бригада?
Ну, Нацгвардія 30-36. Я був великий Новоселів. Оце мене розбомбило там.
Що? Мінометка? Чи
АГС. 17 вогів. Ну, алюмінієві.
Шарики. Не шарики, а...
Мене як світили, блін, як новогодня йолка.
Ми дякуємо нашим військовим, які нас захищали, і ми будемо постійно виявляти і проявляти свою подяку будь-яким способом, яким ми можемо. Як фундація привезли до Нідерландів 140 військових на лікування. І що вся ця ситуація жахлива в Україні, але якась підтримка в нас в Нідерландах завжди буде.
Ну, дрон – це капець. Колись буде так, що воювати будуть дрони, а не люди, я надіюся. Але, ну, це, звичайно, плюс штучний інтелект. Ну, ми ж самі бачили, я вже бачив багато дуже відео, як використовується штучний інтелект, тобто саме розпізнає цілі і саме знищує. Ну, майбутнє. В принципі, дрони і на нашій стороні так само виграють. Тому, ну, це незрозуміло. Було б хорошо запретити дрони Росії. Так, сім'я залишилася в Україні, чекають. Можливо, на Новий рік десь приїдуть, можливо. Звичайно, скучаю, тому що, так сказати, це сім'я все-таки. Син росте 13 років, як не як вже малому, так що пропускаю це все. Але я ж таки не один, дуже багато зараз людей не можуть до своїх сімей повернутися, на свою землю, до себе, додому навіть. Так що, в принципі, такі реалії, війна.
Is this my family? Was this in the summer before you went to the front line?
Yes. Так, це було якраз за місяць до того, як я пішов. Так.
Het is een oorlog dat je hier weer vindt. En het graf van duizend soldaten. Altijd iemands vader, altijd iemands kind. Nu doodstille God verlaten.